I'm Arvind, a partner with PwC. I'm here to talk today about Action Plan 7, which deals with artificial avoidance of PE. Action Plan 7, if you ask me, is right in the middle of the 15 action plans that is being proposed by the OECD and the G20 countries. And what the Action Plan 7 seeks to suggest is a series of three principal steps. One is to redetermination of a dependent agent. Second step or rule focuses on minimizing the exclusions that are currently available for a PE. And the third set of rules on Action Plan 7 focuses on installation projects, construction projects, where there's a possibility to split the contracts in order to avoid the PE. Firstly, dependent agent. Historically, an agent was considered independent if he was compensated at arm's length. He was not entirely dependent on one enterprise for his business, in very simplistic terms. A person who's substantially involved in deciding the material terms of the contract would also now be considered as a dependent agent. So again, a lot of form and substance would have to be documented and demonstrated on the whole. The second focus again of the Action Plan 7, if you ask me, is to deal with how do you minimize the exclusions from creating a PE. If you had a purchasing office, you had a delivery office, you did activities what you construed to be preparatory and auxiliary, you could take a position that these don't constitute a permanent establishment. These structures would have to now be retested to see if they actually are preparatory, auxiliary, if they are actually not being fragmented in order to avoid creating a PE. The rules say that tax authorities could look at the activities that you do in aggregate. Infrastructure projects typically are projects which are of short duration, and enterprises, for ease of doing business, don't necessarily set up a full-fledged business. So they tend to do it, and where these activities don't exceed the threshold period which are prescribed in the treaty, 12 months, 6 to 12 months as the case may be, they don't result in a PE. What this new action plan seeks to suggest is that you could have a situation where the revenue could look at all connected projects which are being done by related enterprises on the whole. And the action plan also interestingly suggests an application of an automatic 30-day rule, where if you do a project for more than 30 days for a connected project, all enterprises that are split up, in order to render the activities, they could all be aggregated in order to determine if in substance they have not been split up just for the sake of avoiding a PE. So in conclusion, if you're a corporate, if you're a taxpayer operating in jurisdictions where you believe you have a independent agent, where you believe you have exclusions for not exposing a PE, or you are undertaking a project where you believe you are well within the threshold period which is prescribed, you would now need to reset and go and check if you fulfill the norms that are prescribed by this Action Plan 7. The Action Plan 7 at this moment has not reached a conclusion on attribution of profits. That is something that has been reserved for future discussion. But at this point, very set of interesting rules have been prescribed under the Action Plan, which essentially is having the tax framework move with the business in today's world. And I think the time that's available right now allows taxpayers to really plan their business, to look at how they operate in a country, to see if they need to operate in a different way, and certainly make sure that the way in which they conduct business through contractual arrangements, through models by which were historically considered to not result in a tax risk, they now need to reset some of those models. So there's enough time right now to really plan and ensure that business is done efficiently and at the same time balanced with the tax risk.